I'd like to talk about the word shit because I've always found it to be really ineffectual. It sounds soft because of the S and the H. It's like you're shitting on a cloud. Or like you're shitting in a snuggle, is that what it's called? You're shh. Whereas in the Russian language, when somebody says shit, you know it because there's a G and a V, and it's like a whole body, head to toe experience. And here's how you say it in Russian. When you say shit, you say, говно. Like, you're not fucking around. Говно. And that's just one of the reasons I love Russian. Another reason is because I grew up speaking it. My parents were Russian, and, when I was a tiny kid, they packed me up and got out of the Soviet Union, and we got the shit out of Dodge ski and ended up in Canada for a better life, which we ended up having. Like, it's been a wonderful life. But when I was growing up in Canada, I always felt like a part of me was back there somewhere because Russian is so expressive. And I learned English, and actually I'm way more Canadian now. I count in English, I think in English. Not very quickly, but And I just always felt like I couldn't fully connect with people unless they spoke Russian, because I couldn't fully express myself, so I wasn't really myself. And I always felt like there was a big Soviet-shaped hole in my soul. And like one day I need to go back and be amongst my people. Not being maybe the sharpest knife in the drawer or the brightest beet in the borscht, I chose a time when Russia was really fucked up. The Soviet Union just a couple of years ago had completely dissolved. The mafia was running the country. They were running the government and the business. Russia was at war with Chechnya, so Chechnya was like, all right, motherfuckers, and they would bomb the subway once every couple of days, and I actually had a couple of close encounters. But I was in my early 20s, so I was like, nothing can touch me. But it was, the people that were working, and lots of people weren't working, and they weren't eating. The people that were working, lots of them didn't get paid. Like, can you imagine, you're working for 5 months in a mine and you don't even get a paycheck? The people were not happy. And so I thought it would be a great time to take a holiday there. I figured everyone would just be super chuffed to see me, like a prodigal daughter. Like, okay, maybe your parents were traitors to the motherland, but, you've come back. And what I found was that they hated me. I spoke Russian nearly perfectly, no accent, and vocabulary okay. It's just that Russians are not fans of foreigners. And I always wondered, why is that? And then a friend of mine gave me a really good theory, which is that Russia's been invaded over and over and over and motherfucking over by everybody since the 1200s, when the Mongols were like, Russia. Everyone else is like, hey guys, let's go fuck Russia. And they did, everybody, up until, World War II with the Germans. But in between there was Knights of the Templar. Poland invaded Russia. They're such nice people, the Polish, Jesus. My favorite is Sweden. Did you guys know? Because I'm not a historian, but I saw it on Wikipedia. Sweden. They're not acquisitive people, they are nice. And they invaded Russia. And my personal theory, and if anyone's Russian here and is offended, then hit me later. My thing is that I actually think of Russia as a remarkably racist culture. It's my opinion. But in Russia's defense, if ABBA had fucked me up the ass, I'd also be a little jumpy, because I wouldn't expect it. It's just what? You, ABBA? So I went over there thinking that, okay, I'm going to find myself, and I'm going to feel really at home. For once in my life, I'm going to feel so at home, man. And I went over there to work and to live, and my dad has a really good sense of humor, and he decided to come over and watch me fuck up. he knew that I was soft and not street smart and really dumb. And so he was, so imagine being mocked by basically Borat, but a lot shorter and fatter and hairier and just bent over double laughing at you, you know? And so, and I love him, I should mention, but seriously, short, fat Borat. And he came over to Moscow and he wanted to watch, okay, well, let's see how she survives in this fucked up environment where everything's falling apart. And I was proud and I wanted to show him. So I showed him around my neighborhood where I was living and working at a newspaper. And I was trying to behave like I was the king of Kensington, like I was waving at strangers and, you know, this kind of thing. But the Russians, instead of being like, hey, nice to see, they were like, fucking, you're waving. Go fuck yourself. And so I was like, okay, that's not working out, but if there's an exchange of money, then maybe someone will be like friendly to me. And we made our way to the market and I was like, look, Dad, I can buy things. And I saw a van and it had a big picture of eggs on it. And underneath in Russian, it said, eggs. So I was like, okay, I can't screw this up. And I'm like, Dad, watch me. And I walk up to it, and I rap sharply on the window, and the window opens, and this guy with a beard down to his fucking knees, who looks like Rasputin, is really mad. He's already super mad at me. And he exhales smoke, and he's like, Chevois, which means, fuck do you want? So I mean, I know a lot of you guys took French in school. There's like the friendly way, or you say tu, and then there's like the you guys help me out. Thank you, the formal way, where you say vous. So I thought, okay, well, I'm gonna use my very finest Russian, and I will address angry Rasputin as vous. And what I ended up saying, I will translate it for you now, is, dear sir, I cordially invite you to allow me to purchase your nutsack. And he got mad at me and told me to fuck off and slammed the window, and okay, you guys watch Family Guy, those asides. Okay, the way you say eggs in Russian is яйца. The way you say testicles in Russian is яйца. But it's a nuanced language where like, it's like, what's the fucking prefix? What is the baby fucking suffix? Pardon me. I don't fuck babies, I'm just saying. I was really mad at this. Where do you put it in the sentence? It turns out, you know, and I turned to my father for help, but he was bent over double, sobbing with laughter. It's like short, fat Borat, like, Dad, Jesus. What I learned is that as much as my whole, like, child life and most of my, like, teenage life, I felt that there was a part of me missing. The fact is I was never going to be a Russian, no matter how much herring I ate. I was really grateful to be Canadian, but really I would be a fish out of water anywhere because I'm a fucking idiot. Thank you.